I've been checking out this situation they got going on in Detroit where this McDonald's worker went in and stabbed her manager to death. And I was just thinking, you never know what people got on their mind and what they dealing with. And that reminded me of why I do things a certain way. Now, when it comes to women, women is like they have a shorter fuse than men got. Men tends to be able to deal with certain situations, certain attitudes and characteristics, depending on how you was raised up. Because a lot of these new dudes out here, these younger dudes, they kind of like have feminine ways, so they tend to react with their emotions like women's. But that's another story. But I wanted to say this. I got a daughter and a granddaughter that just started working, and I make it my business to call them every day or text them every day. And the first thing I tell them is, make sure you pray and ask God to shield you. Do this before you walk out the house. Make sure you pray and you ask God to shield you and clear your mind and help you recognize when you're being tempted and help you to deal with certain situations. Because these kids nowadays, they don't really know how to deal with people. Like, I'm kind of good with dealing with people and calming things down. But you have to teach your kids that, because you never know. Because everybody don't pray and everybody don't believe in God like that, and they don't leave out their house. They just get up and go, and they take everything, all the baggage, all the problems, everything that they got going on, they take it with them to wherever they going. So if you don't know how to interact with those people and talk to those people and deal with those people, if you match their energy most of the time, it's gonna go bad. And that's what I think happened in that situation. It probably was something that was probably building up, but man, it ain't worth, because that lady threw her life away. And I think they said she had like 6 kids and all that. Man, them kids got to deal with that. You just ruined 6 other lives, and not including you just took somebody's life, and then you just ruined her family. If she got kids, you just messed up. You just messed up multiple lives. That's what I'm saying. When you get up in the morning, man, that's why I say people they go to sleep drunk and high. I used to do this all the time. They go to sleep drunk and high, then they get up and they got to rush up out the house with all this baggage and all these emotions and all this stuff in their head, and you wake up with your problems, and then you walk out the house like that. No, you got to give yourself some time, man. You got to sit back, man, and you got to think. You got to clear your head, man. You got to ask God to get all of that stuff out of your head, because if you don't get that stuff out of your head, you finna go project that onto somebody else. And who knows what they dealing with. All it takes is you to come into contact with the wrong person, and now it's a situation like this. Man, we got to start thinking, man, and we got to, like I say, man, we got to start training our kids how to interact with the world, because the world is way different. We can do it. We know how to do it. We done been through so much, and we know, and we can see things before it happens. They can't, and it's a lot of these people out here in their feelings, their emotions. You don't know what's going on at home or none of that. But that's where we come in, that we have to train ourselves and our kids, because this is a whole different world right now. This world is dealing with some different spirits. When I tell you some different spirits, these are some weird spirits, and I can't imagine that, man. That's crazy, and man, it's looking real bad for that lady, but it's bad anyway. Once you go to that extent, it's over anyway. So, like I say, man, if you got kids, especially these girls, because these girls deal with way more than these men deal with. Only time men dealing with something is when they raised by their mama and they just have those type of ways, and they emotional. But these little girls, they deal with a life. They ain't got their fathers in their life. They ain't telling them. That's why I make it my business, man, to talk to my granddaughter. Even if her father ain't there, I don't care. I'm there. I'm your daddy. And it's always gonna be. It's always been like that. And I have to talk to them because that's something I'm gonna have to deal with if they make the wrong decision, a bad decision. So I want them to. I want to feel like at least I told you what to do and I told you what can happen. And I tell them, I try to do this every day. I gotta do it every day. You have to train your kids how to deal with this world, because it could have been anybody. She could have went in there and pulled that knife on to deal with what she was going to. She went home, got a knife. So that means you had time. That's just how messed up they be. They'll plan some stuff, and to put themselves in a predicament to where, oh man, that's just a bad situation, man. I'm praying for them. I'm praying for them kids, because them kids, it's over for them. That's a situation that they got to live with for the rest of their life. They got to live with. Then she got to live with, because ain't no coming back from that. Because that's premeditated. So, man, listen, man, get a hold of your kids, man. Start talking to your kids. Don't be ashamed to talk to your kids, man. And you got to explain to them, and explain to them. I thought I was right, but I wasn't right. I made some mistakes. I was showing you stuff that you shouldn't have seen. And that's the same. I tell my daughter and my granddaughter this all the time. Like, it was a lot of stuff I did. I made a whole bunch of mistakes. I shouldn't have been doing a lot of stuff that I was doing. But I was doing it. But I thank God that I can tell y'all, like, no, y'all don't have to do that. Y'all don't got to do that, man. And teach them how to deal with the world, man. Please.